I'm Gabe Joel, and this is Comic Smack, your weekly, daily, all the time, anytime comic show where I give you your fix of everything you need to know for the world of comic books and superheroes. And on today's show, we're going to be taking a closer look at Captain America, Steve Rogers, issue number 5. What role will the Hydra brainwashed Captain America have to play in the second superhero civil war? Well, let's hop on in together and find out, shall we? So, as with every other issue in this series so far, we are treated to a flashback of the alternate history wherein Steve Rogers believed himself to become a Hydra sleeper agent. It would seem that after his mother was killed, young Steve was whisked away to the German countryside to a creepy castle, Wolfenstein-like castle lorded over by, get this, Daniel Whitehall the Kraken, who you may remember from Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. and even Dr. Faust. Jeez, it's a veritable who's who of evil Nazi supervillains up in here. Now, back in the present, we get to see the big meeting of Avengers and other super characters from the beginning of the Civil War II event, but we get to see it from Captain America's point of view. It would seem there was a Hydra strike force ready to take out all these heroes as they celebrated the defeat of the Celestials, only it was Captain America who called them off when Ulysses made the scene. And if this revelation, retcon, whatever you want to call it at this point, frustrates you, then oh boy, you better strap on in, because it's only gonna get crazier from here. Steve ends up confiding in Dr. Selvig, pretty much his only friend at this point right now. Selvig is freaked out at the idea of the Inhumans having a future-seeing boy who could ruin their whole plans to wrestle control of Hydra away from the Red Skull. Cap, even though he believes himself to be a diehard member of Hydra, still doesn't want to hurt a young innocent kid, even though he pretty much knows he's going to have to kill Jack Flag to keep him quiet. Once again, as I've stated before, the moral dilemmas faced by this mind-rewritten Captain America I always find fascinating. Granted, this debate ends up not really going anywhere, because when Cap does attempt to sneak into the Inhuman city and deal with Ulysses, it doesn't matter, because it just so happens he picked the very same night that Iron Man picked to abduct the kid. From here, we basically fast forward through the rest of the Civil War, and Captain America's internal monologue says, you know what, they make it too easy for me to infiltrate them as a Hydra sleeper agent. They're so busy fighting each other, they have no idea what I'm doing. It's like they hated each other all along or something. Geez, if I didn't know any better, I would say this is Nick Spencer covertly taking the piss out of the Civil War II event. In fact, I think that's exactly what's happening, because next we find out that Captain America and Selvig's plan B for dealing with this future-seeing kid is distract him with a much bigger threat. What's that bigger threat? Oh, just a rampaging Hulk. Yeah, that's right. Captain America sent Bruce Banner the gamma research that would get him back into experimenting with the Hulk that would eventually end in Hawkeye killing him in the main event. Yep, you can blame all that on him now. But it's the next bit that I find to be the real kicker. You'll remember in the main Civil War II book that big turning point for Captain Marvel was when she wrongly arrested a woman who she believed to be involved in a Hydra plot to take down the banks of America, only to have Captain America and Selvig turn around in this issue and go, that's silly, Hydra doesn't have anyone invading the financial markets of America. Man, Carol really screwed up, didn't she? Now, where does Red Skull stand on all this? Well, it should come as no surprise that he wants to manipulate Ulysses much in the same way he's manipulating Kobik for his greater gain, and because of that, he orders Steve to stay nice and close to Captain Marvel. Yep, that's right, you heard it here, everybody. The only reason Captain America backed Captain Marvel's play in the second Civil War was because Red Skull told him to. In fact, Red Skull goes a step further by saying that if it looks like the tide is changing, be sure to jump over to Iron Man's team. So yeah, it looks like Hydra Cap's basically got this whole thing on lockdown, and nothing could possibly go wrong. Well, that is maybe if Ulysses ends up having another vision, one wherein it seems like Miles Morales kills him. Oops, yeah, that's a bit of a wrench in the machine now, isn't it, as the comic ends. Captain America, Steve Rogers, number 5 was a comic that left me feeling really conflicted. I still enjoy the stuff that's happening with Captain America as a Hydra sleeper agent, but it's the Civil War II stuff that makes me raise an eyebrow. I mean, on one hand, it does actually kind of end up being a must-read issue as far as tie-ins go, because it does give you a lot of important background, but it also ends up muddying the waters of an event that was already pretty murky to begin with. I mean, I'm sure in the days and weeks to come, someone will draw up, an interesting graph or diagram that shows where everyone was standing in a timeline of events, but right now, I just don't know. Part of me has also got to wonder too if Brian Michael Bendis, a writer who's a big fan of disregarding the works that other people do that tie into his bigger events, if anything that happened here in this Nick Spencer issue will actually be brought up again in the main book. I doubt it. Overall, though, I'd feel comfortable giving this one a 7.5 out of 10.
Hey everyone, thanks so much for watching my newest video. I hope you enjoyed it, and while you're here, why not check out another video I have on offer, or maybe if you're feeling in a supportive mood, you want to like or subscribe. And if you want to support the creation of more videos just like this one, then please by all means check out the Cape Joel Patreon. A little bit goes a very long way, and I will see you all next time.